Welcome to Ingrid's World. On this show, you will meet Mary Ann Cornish, the Executive Director at Higher Horizon Head Start and Early Head Start since 1977. She has served in leadership positions within the state and regional Head Start Association, resulting in collaborative efforts aimed at building effective early care and education systems. Mary Ann Cornish has served on the faculty of the National Child Development Institute, ensuring quality through leadership. Her presentation, Meeting the Needs of English Language Learners and Preserving Native Tongues, has been made to over 3,000 leaders in Head Start and Early Head Start, grantees, and delegate agencies throughout the country. Mary Ann is a Howard University graduate and a Head Start Johnson & Johnson Management Fellow. She was awarded the Helen Taylor Award for Management Excellence by Head Start Johnson & Johnson, as well as at the Fellows at the Anderson School of Business at UCLA. She has received the Golden Eagle Award for her work at the Early Head Start education by Delta Kappa Gamma Society International. She was recently featured on a webinar focusing on self-care and professionalism at the Early Head Start National Resource Center. Then we will have a fashion show provided by Nazrin Rashid from Daniel Boutique. She is Washington's go-to stylist. Nazrin will give us the do's and don'ts of dressing for events in Washington, D.C. And then we will go behind the scenes with Nazrin imagining a successful boutique. Daniel's Boutique has been in operation since 1984. This show is about early education and being fashionable. So let's have fun and learn a thing or two. Welcome to the show, Mary Ann.
Thank you, Ingrid. It's great to be here.
Well, it's great having you, and I've always been one of your biggest fans because I had the opportunity to kind of like be in your presence as you were delivering Head Start programs, and I always marveled about how you delivered programs.
Well,
there.
thank you.
You made a lot of difference. So why did you start, when you started leading, what was your passion in terms of leading Head Start?
That's a great question. I think I landed at Head Start. I started my career in early childhood education, and I worked for a credentialing organization that credentialed early childhood teachers. And once I left there, I went directly into the work of Head Start at Higher Horizons. And that was in the Bailey's Crossroads community, but the program only served 36 children when I first got there.
How many children do you serve now?
We serve 300 now.
From 36?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's been many years of expansion, many years of building renovation, many years of working with the community, establishing partnerships, and just building a strong relationship in that Bailey's Falls Church community.
So tell us about the mission, because I'd love for the community to hear, what is the mission of Higher Horizon? Well,
first of all, Higher Horizons was founded in 1964, I believe. Wow. And it was based on the philosophy a group of civic residents wanted childcare for working families. Okay. And the program was not a Head Start program when it was first licensed, but it had all of the ingredients of a Head Start program. They wanted qualified teachers, nutritious food, longer days, and all of the ingredients of a Head Start program. So I came after the foundation was established.
Oh my goodness.
So I walked into pretty much the foundation of a Head Start program. And Head Start was funded thereafter, and I was able to build and build and build on that. But the mission of the organization is to strengthen and empower low-income children and families so that they can grow in meaningful ways.
That's powerful. You know, so what type of programs and services do you deliver through Head Start?
Okay. Well, let me preface what I'm getting ready to say. Most people, when I say I work for a Head Start program, they'll say, I didn't know it's still around.
Oh.
So we've celebrated over 50 years of service in the country to millions and millions of low-income children and families. But the unique thing about a Head Start program, it's comprehensive. So school readiness is our first goal, but then we take care of the child from a holistic point of view. So we work on nutrition, health, mental health. We provide resources and advocacy, parent engagement activities. So there's a wide range of things that our program does, just like all of the other programs throughout the country.
50 years.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And do you have a number of how many children have benefited from such a program?
Thousands and thousands of
Thousands
children.
of children.
And last year we celebrated our 50th anniversary, and we had a day of everybody coming back. So we had a founders room. So the members of the community that were founders joined us. We had state and local representatives, government, Fairfax County representatives, congressmen's offices, and most importantly, the students came back. Yes, they did. They did. They did.
Oh,
they wanted to go to their old classroom and see if the teacher was there.
No, they did.
They did. Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it
Powerful.
really has become a family and community program. And in 1965, when Lyndon Johnson established Head Start, it was based on the philosophy of services in the community. And I've been able to stay true to that mission by making sure that the children and families in that diverse community of Falls Church receive the services.
Oh, and that's so important. Now, the challenges, I mean, and I was fascinated that you did a presentation to over 3,000 people regarding native languages. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I asked for statistics today. 92% of the children that we serve are dual language learners.
92%?
92%.
Wow.
And in Fairfax County alone, 170 different languages are served.
Whoa.
So we're a diverse neighborhood.
Exactly.
And I think that we had a lot of lessons learned. You know, we thought about making sure that we had the information translated in all of these different languages. And we kind of had lessons learned as we ventured into serving a classroom of 17 children and maybe 12 languages. So you aim to have someone that speaks the home language in each of those classrooms, but the reality is we don't have enough people that speak those languages.
Right, right.
But the bottom line is research shows that children who learn their home language are very successful in acquiring a second language.
Okay, so they already, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And knowing, particularly in our global economy, that's an advantage, knowing two languages.
It is.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Tell us about the graduates of those who have, then when they came back, what type of professions came back to you?
One of the things that I take pride in is developing leaders, staff, and I know that the children come back. The adults, the young adults who have gone to medical school, who are lawyers, who are doctors, who are just successful in going on to Thomas Jefferson School for Science and Technology. Right. So I think that we don't have data because we aren't able to track the children with a school number, but we do have anecdotal information from parents and neighbors who say, and we get Christmas cards. We get Christmas cards. And during the summer when college break or spring break, children come back and visit. But we do know that we make a significant impact on the lives of the families that we serve.
And making people better. you have business, you have partnerships. Talk a little bit about your partnerships that you have going on.
We have partnerships with Northern Virginia Community College.
Wow.
We have partnerships with the health department in Fairfax. We have partnerships with local businesses, and they either support goods or donate services. We had a partnership with ExxonMobil for a summer intern program.
Wow.
We work with other agencies in the federal government also for partnerships.
Wow.
So that's a strong piece, and that's one of the more challenging pieces because we're in a county and we're not in the school systems. We're private nonprofit.
Right.
So we have so many challenges in terms of making sure that every year we meet our targets in terms of budget and things like that.
Wow.
Because the need is so great for the services that we offer.
Wow. So are there volunteer opportunities at
Of course.
Are there?
Yeah,
okay.
We welcome volunteers from individuals who want to work in the classroom, individuals who want to play an instrument, former teachers, former professionals in the field of education that want to give of their time and resources to the organization. Our board is a volunteer board. They give their resources and their time. They attend meetings. They are the ambassadors for the program.
And that's really powerful what you're saying. They're ambassadors, they're getting things done and really advocating, for Higher Horizon.
Yes.
So you've done this. Any roadblocks on this wonderful career that you have built and that you...
Roadblocks. Have there been roadblocks? I think that funding is always a challenge. And the fact that we're in a county that's viewed as a very prosperous county. And I think the fact that we have some competition with the school system and with other organizations that are doing similar activities.
Okay.
So it's very hard to reach out to corporations because they want us to kind of stay in our lane. We know we can diversify and do other things. For example, there's a need for infant mental health services. And we want to start at the beginning. So Head Start also offers programs for children birth to 3. So there's an early Head Start program. So we want to make sure that those children, as soon as they are born, are either working with a pregnant mom, that we can give them a healthy start. So there's research saying that infant mental health is a concern. And we want to be able to provide those services and exemplary models of care for children and families.
That's powerful. So as we conclude the segment, what would you like our viewers to remember about Higher Horizon, Head Start, and Early Head Start? What do you want them to remember?
I really want the residents of Fairfax to know that they have an outstanding program, first of all. And it's a unique program in that we're tucked in a little African-American community. We represent Fairfax County at state, national levels. And we do our work with intention. And I think that families, community, those that we partner with, sometimes don't recognize the impact. But because this is a journey, my career has been a journey, and it's been a successful one.
Very successful.
It's been very successful.
Very successful.
It's hard work, but it is rewarding. I know that the work that I've done has been benefited to the community.
Well, I have to thank you for being on the show and the wonderful work that you do. Fairfax County, but the truth be known, throughout the country, you have affected children.
Thank you so much.
Continued success.
Thank you so much, Ingrid.
Coming up next, we'll be talking with Nazarene Rashid from Daniel's Boutique. So stay right there. We'll be right back. Well, welcome to the show, Nazarene. It's great to have you.
Thank you for having me, Ingrid.
Well, I got so excited about you being on this show, and why don't we talk a little bit about yourself? What got you into fashion?
Well, I came to the United States in the '79. I was a teenager, and I always, as a young woman, I always had a eye and look for clothes, and I would take a piece of fabric and try to match it with something, and I started making my own clothes. So that's how I got myself into that route.
Well, tell us a little bit about Daniel's Boutique.
Well, I want to tell you basically about our whole business. Daniel's Boutique is one store, and also we have a sister store. It's called LA Moves. These two stores are very unique and different from each other, so each one has its own name, but it's under our company. And they're both in Crystal City. We have been in Crystal City for, Daniel's been there for 27 years, and the other store has been there over 30 years.
What?
That's how we started in Crystal City, and we're still there. It's just wonderful to be there.
So what motivated you to open up the boutique?
Well, my husband and I both had an eye for fashion, and we traveled to New York. We started looking at different designers and stuff. What we were interested in looking for was to make something different. There was a lot of clothes everywhere, beautiful stuff, but we wanted to have unique things. So we started traveling to Europe, even trying to find manufacturers, things that nobody else has, to be a very different, unique, and quality was very important to us. So, and we thought we have all these knowledge and tools that we could use towards that and dress women that could look different and could feel good about themselves.
Right, that's key. So what has been the challenges of owning your own boutique?
I would say to make sure we have the latest fashion trend in the store and be updated and show our clientele that fully trust us, and they come to us and say, I need this and that, to make sure they see the best look for themselves.
Right. Now, what is the vision of your boutique?
The vision is to dress, first, I have to say I'm very honored to dress 3, maybe sometimes 4 generations. And it's hard to, in one store, to do all of that.
Yes,
and the challenges.
But when you put dressing 3 to 4 generations, like, that's amazing.
Yes, it is amazing, and
different styles for sure.
Absolutely. What we try to do is make sure they look different. They buy something very unique that they don't see everywhere, and they feel good about themselves. And one of the vision I have is the service I offer there for each one of my clients. Doesn't matter who they are or what they do. I want to make sure they find the right item in their wardrobe.
The right dress, the right one.
Yes.
So Washington has its own style, and I've noticed that, I go to a lot of events, and, are there any tips about when you're going to a gala that you can suggest? How do you figure it out?
Actually, I think there's not such a set rule for anything, except we have to be very much mindful of where we're going and who's going to be there. So based to that, depending on that, one of the first questions I ask my clients, where are you going? And they call me and say, I'm going to this thing, whether it's a wedding, whether it's a formal or business casual or whatever, that they wear the right outfit based to who's going to be there and what kind of atmosphere and everything to feel good about themselves. But I'm more mindful of where the place they're going to.
Oh, so that's where you start. You
Yes.
start where you're going, and then you build on.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah, because we do a
okay.
lot of weddings, and sometimes I first question if it's a mother, the bride, or groom, what are the colors for the bridesmaids? What are the colors? And based to that, I start showing them colors, unless they come and say, oh, I need to wear this eggplant, for instance, and or whatever, so on. So that's how I would tell them, no, I think for wedding, you probably should wear something more elegant and classy. It's not a party, it's a wedding. It's different than, you know, going to a New Year's Eve party. It depends on what kind of place you're going.
Good point.
Yes.
Good point. Yeah, I never thought about thinking of it from that standpoint, that it could just be that I could build an outfit from that standpoint. Now, you have some of these beautiful pictures that you have over here. Tell us about it.
Well, not too long ago, I often hear that the parents talk about prom, how important to have, but at the same time, this wonderful, their children, they want them to look elegant, so they come to me. And so we put a fashion show together, and I was very fortunate to have all these beautiful young girls came. And this one here is Miss Maryland. She was crowned 2015. Beautiful person. They all modeled the recent things, and the parents were there, which was wonderful for them to see their kids.
Wow.
Yes, and we show them how they could be beautiful, sexy in a nice way, elegant, and fashionable. All of that look in one thing, but yet, and it's something they get that they're going to use again. And again, it won't go out of style. It will be something valuable in their wardrobe. And of course, one of the other services that we do, we make sure these clothes fit the person. So that's tailoring, and the styling is very important. So we talked about how if you're tall, if you need to wear this, that. So give them a lot of tips. Yes, that's what the picture's from.
They're absolutely wonderful. Pardon me. So I want to ask you another question. Is that the fashions? Now, what type of fashion? If I walked into Daniel Boutique, what would I see?
Well, one of the specialty we do is we dress you from very casual. We do wardrobe. I'm a wardrobe consultant. People start a new job, or their lifestyle changes, they retire, they need, or for whatever reason they're deployed. So they come to me, and I put things together from very casual to business to day wear to something to go out. So I build their wardrobe in a way that the quality would allow them to wear it over and over again. And they will feel good, because if they won't see themselves as something different and unique, that they get compliments, they come back and kind of want to shop more.
I want to shop more. So you're doing that, and that makes so much. And I think you said something that was very important to me, was quality, because you gotta be. You spend money, but then, you know, goodness, you got to be really careful about the quality of things. You want things to last. The behind the scenes of working and managing a boutique, how do you decide, you know, on what fashion to bring to Daniel's Boutique? How do you make that decision?
Well, it is, we get the knowledge from, we travel to New York City a lot. We see a lot of fashion shows and stuff, and most of the time, there are a lot of fashions we see, but however, we pick things that for our clients sometimes, I may really love something, but then I'm thinking, what is it that I need for my clients? Again, being that vision is important, because truly some of the fashions that comes out doesn't work for everybody. And we don't want to just wear it because it's in fashion. So I generally, when they come to me consulting about their wardrobe, one of the first things I say, they say, what is the length of the skirt this year? I'm like, doesn't matter. Let's see what is the length for you, or what works for you. You cannot wear this.
So you should always focus on what's good for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, there has to be, because fashion is wonderful, beautiful, and you see in magazines and stuff, you want to see colors that you see and everything. So I make sure we have those items, the colors that comes to us is very fashionable, and it's something but practical, something not that will go out of fashion soon, that you would just buy it and then next year you can't wear it. So
Right.
a lot of, we get things from Europe as well, but many lines we have that made in USA, that beautiful and different, because we dress a woman from size 0 to size 2X.
Okay.
And if there's things, sometimes our bodies are made different in this
Yes.
fashion or the same cut.
Yes.
So we restyle it, and that's how our tailoring services comes from.
Oh, so you restyle it.
Absolutely. I have a mother of the bride comes to me and says, my arms are not nice. I want to, we add a sleeve with the fabric or something that makes them feel better and is the right dress, but the sleeves needs to be there. Or we get a lot of times, often people bring their furs that they're inherited or something and it's outdated, but it's a good quality fur. So we restyle furs even, and we do a lot of services for that, that people are in need, and it's hard to find a professional person, and we do have a very professional person that does a lot of that service.
So when you're getting ready for an event, your tips for us out here would be, you said remember the event that you're in?
Yes.
Any other tips that you would suggest for us?
Well, I would be mindful of the weather. For instance, if you're going somewhere, I get a lot of ladies tell me they get cold often when they're wearing a gown, going somewhere. And I always, for the weather-wise, if there's a wrap, if there's a little accessories you could add to your beautiful gown or whatever, or a jacket, gloves, opera gloves, which is in fashion, or a hat or something, to enhance the beauty of your outfit. At the same time, be comfortable and be warm. You don't want to freeze and be out there and look beautiful.
I think you're giving us some amazing tips.
Thank you.
Well, Nazrin, I have to thank you for being here on the show. You know, you have opened up the world for us, because you say if you're getting ready for an event, first think about what you're trying to do, and then you get dressed for the event.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll keep that in mind. I would like to thank Marianne Cornish and Nazrin Rashid for being superb guests and discussing their careers. Both of you are inspirations. And now, our quote this time is from Marian Wright Elderman. Each person must live their life as a model for others. Thank you for watching Ingrid's World, and don't forget to friend us on Facebook or follow Ingrid's World VA in Twitter and Instagram for instant Ingrid World news. So stay in touch and be a blessing to someone today.